We just about set to rock and roll. Christmas Eve, if y'all celebrate. Regardless of which, we're all influenced by it in some way. You know, work ain't working, shit ain't moving, it's a time for chilling. A lot of people with family regardless. Because you got somebody in your plan. Right? And get-togethers are just a part of the time of the year. So today caps off, and what a time for it to pop up, the White Dog Wavespell. I like it better down there. Want to be able to see it. And we're going to take a look at the energies on both sides. Now keep in mind there's still a lot, and I mean a lot, of twinning energy going on. Twinning energy. Duality. Pollux and Troy, and Castor. Pollux and Castor. So the white dog, love, loyalty, the heart, and the process. The process. This represents the process. You know, the processing centers. It's like when you order mail, you have processing and sorting, making sure that things get to the right place. It's kind of like that. So this has a lot to do with navigation as well. And a chain of events that have to happen in order for a certain outcome to take place. Alright, so you know the deal. We're going to pull from Santa, Monty, and we're going to pull from the Light Seers. And we're going to see what this new wave spell has in mind for us, energetically. Priestess in the building. Mind your manners. Priestess in the building. And I just find it I don't know. It's probably like the last thing you would expect as far as a wave spell at this time of year with everything that we went through, but at the same time, it's exactly what's needed. Because we're talking about the heart and a lot of families being together at this time. A lot of memories, loved ones, that kind of energy. So all that has a lot to do with the heart. And you know, I was hearing Tina Turner's "What's Love Got to Do with It," and it's like it's a little bit of both. It has everything to do with it. And this spirit came in behind, was like, it has nothing to do with it at all. Has absolutely nothing to do with it at all. And at the same time, everything. So again, more twinning, more duality going on right about now. And I finally got my side swipe yesterday in the mail, and he has a twin, and it's just twins everywhere. Twinning energies, complementary energies. So this is right on time. It's like I said, a lot of divine couples are going to start coming together. You won't know it because these kind of people are not going to be broadcasting it in such a way. Not in all these cases. There's going to be a lot of sacredness in these unions, where some people might be celebrities and stuff like that. Yeah, you're not going to know about their personal life. You're not going to know about the sacredness of these unions. Hell, a lot of people are just waking up to them anyway. So they don't even fucking know. You know what I'm saying? But it's there. And really, it is the higher self. Talking about a spell, we got the White Wizard. And what a combination, because this is the enchantment and the receptivity. So this is communication. This is on all levels. And this is why the endlessness is here. We're talking about stuff that has gone on forever, especially in the matters of the heart, you know. A lot of people that we know now, we've known for centuries in a lot of cases. Going through these cycles of reincarnation and all this other shit, right? And this is saying also, you know, despite the circumstances that are going on outside of everything, what's going on, Bridge? This is the dominant energy. This is the glue of the universe. This is what oversees everything. And I really feel like we're going to have to really re-examine what this is, as far as what does love really mean? What does love really look like? You know what I'm saying? Because we have many types of love. You know what I mean? You got Sade's. This says no ordinary love. You got what's love got to do with it? You know what I'm saying? We got all these different modalities centered around this one concept. Look at this. The death. Santa Morta came out on top of that shit. No, she's over here. And this is what I mean. The death and the rebirth. Perhaps redefining things. Something new coming out of it. You know what I'm saying? An evolution of it in some sort of way. Because see, she's waiting for the baby to come. So, of the heart. What's changing? And in most cases, if not all cases, it's all of us that are changing. You know what I'm saying? All of us that are changing. As a result, on the light seer side, what we got with this death? Queen of Pentacles. Look how warm and fucking fuzzy this reading is already. Because this is the nurturing quality that is going to assist in the birth. Because they're getting big. I got sprouts shooting up all over the place. I had no idea, bitch. I had no idea. So I had no idea. But it's pretty much the same thing. We're getting ready to nurture what's being born within us. Or we are nurturing what's being born within us at this time. And this has a lot to do with the heart. What is at the core or the center of who you are right now and what you're here to do? If it ain't fun, if it ain't bringing joy, if it's not bringing you any kind of growth, then that's not love. So love could look a lot like criticism at this time. You know what I mean? It could look like criticism, but constructive criticism. It could look like, you know, putting a Band-Aid on your boo-boo kind of thing at the same time. You know what I mean? But then we have interpersonal relationships. We have a relationship with ourselves. This is the time to nurture all of these dynamics of the heart, because things are changing the way we see things. That's the tomato plant. That's the potato plant next to the ginger. Like, I was just fucking around. Now I gotta move them because I don't want them to start competing for shit. And that's part of this quality of this earth. You know, things being born, and nurturing, knowing when to be receptive, like the wizard is, when to leave them alone, let them do their thing, kind of shit. You know, just kind of like your children. It's for y'all that got kids. You know, there's a fine line with that, because you don't want to be over nurturing and shit like that, overbearing. Excuse me. You want to be mothering and not smothering. You know what I'm saying? That kind of energy. So this is a lot, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the White Wizard deals a lot with the natural world, i.e. plants, etc., etc. The communication between the plants. You know what I mean? Like, we're all under the influence of this love, right? So, have you ever thought about plants and animals and how they, you know, express this this dynamic and how that looks? You feel what I'm saying? You think of a dog or a cat and their loyalties and whatnot. We all know that the dog is the most loyal of all the creatures that we have domesticated. Cats, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. On the White Wizard side, we have the Pentacles in reverse, Six of Pentacles. And let's see why that's there. Because we have the Hermit. So this is a reassessment time. The Hermit energy goes within, goes to the mountain to figure out why. perhaps things are uneven or unbalanced. It's a timing thing as well. And this is why I was talking about in the beginning. It kind of seems like the right time, and at the same time it doesn't. It's like, what's love got to do with it? And then it's like it got everything to do with it and nothing to do with it at the same time. This is a middle ground we're getting to. And let's see what's in that middle ground. In the middle ground is the yellow star. So this is about the expression of love and the proliferation of it as well, because we got the rabbits there, and you know what happens when two rabbits get together for too long. You know what I'm saying? We have pregnancies. So this is quite interesting. We're gonna pull another one on top of each. Page of Wands, which is children. And then the Four of Cups in reverse, which is letting the past go. It's seeing what's right in front of you and not what you've missed. It's taking advantage of the opportunity that's being offered to you right now as a means to grow. You understand what I'm saying? There's a lot more to this, and I can feel it's going to start to evolve as we go deeper into the wave spell. But you know, the pages are small messages. So this could be like anything from, like, you know, like poetry and shit like that, to small conversations and shit like that. But filled with a lot of passion at the same time. Messages of love. You know what I mean? I don't care whether these are petitions or affirmations that you're making to people that are here or not here at this time. It feels like more of a reminder at the same time over here. Because this part feels like what was lost, in a sense. Why else would the hermit go into the mountains for isolation, to find that balance again? You know what I'm saying? To find the answers for why things have not been reciprocal, or feeling like you've been received. Because we got receptivity up here, receiving, you know? Or you're receiving what you want. So this is a good time to really go in and getting ready to go into the new year about, and we're seeing this on a larger scale too. Like, I thought about that dude that killed the health guy, you know, the healthcare guy, well, quote unquote healthcare guy. In the future, he's going to be seen as a hero, it feels like, because this is what kicks off the revolution, so to speak. You know, everything coming from the heart, and the heart seeks justice and balance, does it not? Because you're going to have to weigh this shit on the scale at the end of the day. You feel what I'm saying? Being lighter than a feather. It has a lot of collective energy as well as personal energy. Of course, they got to go together, right? Leo and Aquarius. Because if we're looking at Aquarius and Pluto, we got to look at Leo. Leo is our creativity, our individuality, our self, who we are, and then how we fit into the collective as it is. And as a collective, this is very much the issue here. Let's just say you're not getting paid what you should be for your time. You know what I'm saying? This is because of what race or what gender or what you've chosen in life, you're not being received in certain ways. You know what I'm saying? We'll just say prejudice, stuff like that. It's just things are out of balance. We're dealing with pinnacle energy, so we're talking about the physical realm at the same time. You know what I mean? And this would be artificial time, not natural time. For those of y'all been in the class, been studying the calendar, emphasize a lot about natural timing of things as opposed to the artificial timing of things. You know what I mean? There's a time where you should be getting up in the morning. That's natural to you. That might be your most creative time, and you're going to work and spending it with somebody else. You understand what I'm saying? So this is going back to really, this is big. It's starting to feel a lot bigger than what we can presently see. But I think a lot of us, and I know a lot of us, let me say it, a lot of us, we can feel these changes and what needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? How is it that the few can have so much and the many have so little, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? How can there be, you know, all this other shit going on, and we got kids starving, we got refugees and things like that? Now we're still in the realm of duality, but this is where the line is drawn. You know what I'm saying? And this is what we're looking at. We're looking at where the line is drawn. You know what I mean? And how this divide has put such a wedge between humanity and its evolution. But it's all part of the evolution. So as we contemplate, wholeness to you, Ink Blade, how you doing today? What are we nurturing? What are we fostering? What is the new thing being given birth to? The concept, the equality, the idea of justice and fairness. A lot of that is coming through the spiritual realm right about now. The hermit up in the mountains dreaming like a motherfucker. Ain't got none of that other bullshit going on around. With that receptivity, we're getting that through. Even these crows out here, you hear them. And I know why they showed up. You know what I'm saying? There's about 50 of them in the sky right about now. Just flying around. So, as we're moving forward, and if you have any questions or you want to comment on this, please feel free to do so, because this is not something that's taking place with just certain people. This is a collective energy. As an awareness, as in a focus, and keeping that in the mind in the next 13 days, be open to receive, because the endlessness is talking about the possibilities that come from the heart. The receptivity is our ability to sit and listen like the hermit does in order to receive those messages. And what a good time. The words, the song I'm hearing now is a silent night, holy night. Again, I don't know, I heard that earlier, but I didn't know what the hell that was for until this. Sitting in silence, being receptive, getting the messages from your higher self, from your guides, from your angels, whatever you want to call it. It's all here. But it's heart-centered. It's very much heart-centered. So good questions is for yourself at this time is, what do I love? Who do I love? Why do I love? Who am I loyal to? Why am I loyal to? Whatever it is. Am I honoring the process of love? Or am I trying to control it? You know what I'm saying? Because that's one of those things, the concept alone just slips through your fingers when you try to grasp onto it. Think you go to control what that does. Anything that can kill the ego is something that you cannot tangibly hold and think you're going to control that shit. You know what I'm saying? Trying to navigate the outcome for your benefit. When it's meant to kill the ego and shed that old skin. In a lot of cases, you'll hear Bob talk about this a lot. Looking towards the natural world for the definition. You look at the planet, and regardless of how much harm, collectively, we are all accountable for that, because we buy the gas that they drill. We buy the cell phones that use the silicone and all that other shit. You understand? We all have a part to play in that, whether we like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Something somewhere. I mean, if you're wearing a pair of Nikes, there's somebody in a sweatshop somewhere getting 15 cents a day. You understand what I'm saying? We're all feeding into it somewhere, somehow. So this is a good time to ask those questions. What are you loyal to? What do you stand for, really, at this time? You know? And that's timelessness, not endlessness, excuse me. And again, time. Time. We're not talking about linear time anymore. We're talking about the cycles, the natural cycles of the universe. And how that has always been in the forefront, even though it's also been subtly in the background. You feel me? So this is where this comes in. The expressions of love and how it grows. Starting with self, of course. All right? That is the spiel. And we're not worried about what we've lost along the way, because you can't lose anything, really, if that makes sense. You didn't lose anything. It was just the thought process behind it. And there's really no thinking here. There's no storage. There's nothing else here but water and earth. So we're talking about the soil being fertile within and letting all that creation come to the forefront. You listen to that song all morning, I'm telling you, it's here. For real, for real. So happy Christmas Eve if you're celebrating. And even if you're around people who celebrate it and it's not your thing, make it your thing. Because the energy is still there, you know what I'm saying? It's still an energy signature you can take advantage of. All you gotta do is figure out a way to make that work for you. It's still a battery. Without lending yourself or lending your energy to something that you do not or are not loyal to. You know what I mean? Just look at it as a time to just be at peace with where you are on the journey and how far you've come. You understand what I'm saying? Anybody want cards today on this first day of the White Dog Wave spell? And I forgot to do my diligence. Let me act like I got a program to run here. Okay, there we go. Hey Queenie, what's going on? So I'll pull a couple cards if you want cards. I'll just use fancies today because I kind of want to enjoy the rest of this sunshine out here. We just got finished with the shortest day of the year, which is yesterday. So keep that in mind. We're building from the underworld or the subconscious up. So a lot of the work that we've been doing in the last couple of months, especially from the equinox, has been subconscious work. Subconscious work. What have we been putting into that soil? A lot of us have been shedding old beliefs. And you got to give yourself a pat on the back for that. That's the transformation, that's the change. The way you love yourself is changing. And this is going to translate to how you love others and the things around you. You're going to know how much to give and how much not to give. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to look at it like a commodity. You got to look at it like currency, because that's what it is. Currency of the heart. You see what it can do in its highest octave and what it can create. And we've also seen what it can do in its lowest octave. Priestess. And we're going to make this a collective reading, because this is what I'm being guided to do. Everybody who wanted a card, we're going to line it up. And I want you to take a little bit from each, because none of us are in this alone. Alright? Priestess. Paprika. How about it? We were just talking about the creativity and the expression of. And I'm getting the naked truth off of this. And there again is the heart. Whatever you create, close to the heart, right? Queen, the Chariot, forward movement, progress, being escorted as well. The Chariot, forward movement. Bree, the yellow seed. And this goes into the natural world we were talking about earlier too. And I have been every time I see it I'm ready to jump on camera, but I'm just enjoying it too much. You know, trees drop so many seeds of intention. They make sure something gets into the ground. You feel what I'm saying? because you got the animals that'll eat it up. You got all kinds of shit that happen. Cars run over the seeds. You know, the weather, the rain, kind of. You know what I'm saying? It'd be on the sidewalk instead of the ground. All that kind of shit. But they make enough for at least one to get in the ground. Kind of energy. But this is targeting. This is really seeing what it is. But also watching the fruits of your labor at the same time take hold, blossoming. So this is a good time to not only appreciate the new seeds you're planting, but also the ones that you've planted up to this point. Bridge, let's see. Nirvana, self-explanatory. You should know this already. Merging things together into one place, housing everything into one peaceful, cohesive state of being. And she's been quite the archetype for quite a while. As far as the ones that have been speaking. And I don't think she's out here today, is she? Well, I'll just say, in this creative time, all of these fairies that have been channeled through the deck have been speaking loud to the point where they're telling me their stories now. You know what I'm saying? So this is and I'll pull one for my goddamn self. Anybody else in the room? Mosaic, putting things together. This is going hand in hand with this in a way. But I know that means that's like, you know, what I do naturally. As far as making something out of nothing kind of thing. That's what that's meaning for me right now. But it's a collective reading. Creativity is what's going to move us forward. Creativity is what's going to move us forward in this cycle. The yellow seed are the intentions, past and present. Nirvana is putting all those into one. Oh, Inkblade, we're going to join the collective read. Oh, I'll be damned she hasn't come out a lot. Mosaic is grounding those pieces that we've put together from Nirvana. Really grounding those ideas. And then we have Aurora, which is really saying going by faith and not by sight. It is also talking about the expansion and strengthening of an area of life that we have not been aware of, because we got awareness up here on top of it, that it's now coming to the fold, i.e. gifts or special talents that we have are being strengthened because one of the other ones are being stripped away. This is like if you're really good at speaking, you're in a place now where verbal communication is not the key, but rather like body language, you know, silent language, how your mannerism is, your aura, you know, speaks for yourself kind of thing. Hence the name Aurora. And then here we got the 6 again that we started out with in the beginning of the read, 6 of Pentacles. That was in the reverse. And this is how we balance that. So this has a lot to do with the time invested in yourself and what you're currently doing. Are you more committed to the 9 to 5 or the purpose of your soul kind of energy? You know what I'm saying? I was so happy to see my phone report, because I've been on the phone 3.5 hours less than I was the week before, kind of thing, because spending more time doing things that I enjoy doing that are of a benefit not only to myself but to others, right? So this is the collective read, and it's a process. So, you know, it's not a time being hard on it. It's just finding the time and creating the space and setting your intentions and figuring out how all the work that you've done in the last 6-7 years or your whole life is coming together and what it was all meant for as far as the experience of it all. I'm talking about every little thing. Every little thing. Every little thing. You know what I mean? From the plants and the animals that you resonate with, to people, places, even the kind of foods, you know, everything, the relationships we're talking about here. The relationships, okay? So to cap this collective and this twinning energy and taking root, matter of fact, no, I ain't gonna take that one. That one was out already. That one was out already. What was on the bottom? That was out already. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Because, as custom dictates, you know, we have to have a transformer of the day. And the one that just showed up for me is the Masterpiece Sideswipe with the Lamborghini logo, which is, I didn't know it until I really looked at it. It's the sign of Taurus on the Lamborghini logo, if you've ever looked at it. Being very close to the earth, being very grounded. Sideswipe is one of those warriors who is considered one of the best. So this is part of the grooming process. We're talking about spiritual warriors with a certain kind of strength. And look at all that red, that grounded root chakra energy. You know what I'm saying? And he's got the pile drivers on this time, really digging into the earth, really digging into the subconscious. This goes into the Constructicons things, recreating, but through the destruction of old ways, the old self. You know what I'm saying? So even in love, for some of y'all, you might get sideswiped. Love might just take your legs out from underneath of you, right? We talked about that before, right, Queenie? You know what I'm saying? What's that old song? Love's Gonna Get You. You remember that joint? What was that, KRS-One? Love's Gonna Get You. And if you remember that song, there was quite a different, again, variations of what love looks like. This is getting to the essence of it at this time. Yeah, that was KRS-One. Love's gonna get you. Love's gonna get you. Love's gonna get you. It was part of the sample, right? So this is the collective read. And know that this is considered a masterpiece transformer. It means you got a lot more moving parts. It's a lot more posable. And this is also linked to the arts as well, because the masterpiece versions of the transformers are the, I don't want to say, they're just, the quality is different. It's not like normal ones or the ones that started out. The ones that started out, like I said, maybe 3 or 4 moves, you can go from car to robot. This shit right here, you got to sit with the instructions if you don't want to fuck shit up and get used to the process of transformation, because it's different than it was when you started out. These back in '86 are so much different now than they are now because of the evolution that you've gone through. So that's part of right here, honoring that part of your evolution to this point, but it's bringing you to a point now where you're making different decisions for yourself. Okay, so keep all this in mind as we get a little bit further down the line. And speaking of the dog, and he looking at the camera like, yo, what's going on? The white dog wavespell is here. It gives me the full energy as well, new beginnings because of that dog energy, and traveling light, if that makes sense. Traveling light. The Fool is a little bit reckless, and Sideswipe is probably the most reckless of all the Autobots. He'll just jump right in, and his whole saying is, I don't break rules, I bend them a lot. I get the flashes of the Matrix when I hear that in this context. How some people were able to fly in the Matrix, how Neo was able to dodge the bullets in the Matrix. That is breaking the rules. I mean, bending the rules, excuse me. I mean, breaking the rules, yeah. Because he says, I don't bend them, I break them a lot. All right, 2 final cards and we out of here. I want y'all to go enjoy your families and yourself and the rest of this Beautiful day. It's like 70 degrees in NOLA on Christmas Eve. You gotta love it. You know what I'm saying? Don't get scared now. Because we are walking away. We are talking about hearts. Here's the cups. The 8 of Cups. Walking away from the old. Taking the jewel, which is that sparkle coming out of this cup. It's a release. This is not a sorrowful release either. This is one of those cries where it's like, oh my God, I made it. Or, oh my God, I can't believe I'm here. Oh my God, I never knew I did that. You know, like the joy of a relationship that has changed and evolved because of transitions or, you know, just that kind of energy. You got to let it flow. Your emotions, you got to let it all flow. You got shit to say, you got shit to get off your chest, let it flow. Let it come from the heart. And on the light side, or the light seer side of all this, the Knight of Wands. Now, guys, it says a lot. And it's always appreciated in gratitude. And this collective read here, let me get back in there, says it all. And I did it this way because we have to remember about the process that's being delivered here. Excuse me, let me get the sun on there. Let's get some sun on there, right? And that we're here to break the rules. I don't break rules, I bend them a lot. Or break rules, I don't bend them. However you want to take his motto, you know what I'm saying? But grounding that heart energy as well through your creative endeavors and knowing that you are the masterpiece version of yourself at this time. Okay? This ain't the one that you started out as. This is the masterpiece version of self. Okay? So for the Who-kah lounge, where it's all the smoke / transformative tarot, we'll be changing all the time. Wishing y'all the happiest of holidays. Success in all your alchemical endeavors and whatever it is that you're doing at this time. Okay? But take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to y'all later. Wholeness and love.